Hi, I'm Gail and welcome back to lowcarbrecipe-ideas.com. Well, I'd had a lovely vacation, the sun was amazing, just did nothing all week. Played with my granddaughter and hung out with my daughter and son-in-law, and we just had an awesome time. So now I come back to snow, which really is a drag, but that's part of life. We are in the area where we have the 4 seasons, and that snow is quite a bit where I live. Anyway, today, I know tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I'm sorry that I didn't get this on sooner, but this is more to sit down and relax and have a nice drink. So I have a low-carb rum root beer float, if you want to call it, or a drink. You don't have to put the rum in it. It's good either way, so I'm just going to give you a couple of options. In fact, today I'm not going to put the rum in because I've been had enough to drink while I was away, so I will just improvise. I'll just use a bit of my pop, saying that is rum, and you just substitute for whatever you want. And you don't have to use rum. Vodka's very good in it also. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. Now, I'm going to take a cup of whipping cream, 35%. This is just a no-name brand that we have at our Food Basic grocery store. And I'm going to take a cup. And what I'm going to do is we are going to whip this up and then we're going to freeze it. So I'm going to divide it into 4. So I just want you to have some in the freezer. So if you like it well enough, you're going to have some more. So I'm going to divide this into 4 once I get it whipped up. So I'm not adding any sweetener, nothing, because there's enough in the flavor of my pop that I feel it doesn't need it, but that's up to you. So all I'm going to do is whip this up. There, you can see it's in peaks now. So it's a very, very simple recipe. So the next thing I do is I have a little baking sheet, cookie sheet. I have a silicone mat, which I picked up 3 of them. They came in the package from Costco, which are perfect size for my cookie sheets. And then we're going to make 4 heaping spoonfuls of our whipping cream. And try to make them equal. Now, I made some yesterday in advance, and the plops aren't going to be as big, but I'm just going to give you the gist of the whole thing. I made that one way too big. Get my spatula here. And I don't want them to be too big because it depends on what kind of glass you're going to be putting it in. And I love having my drink in a wine glass. And that's what we're going to use today. So I have to be careful as to what size I'm using, how big I make it. Okay, so that's basically it for the cream. I know some people put sweetener in it, they put vanilla in it, but I honestly don't think it really needs it. But I guess you can experiment with it. I have experimented and I'm very satisfied with this without adding sweetener. So I'm going to put this in the freezer for a couple hours and get them frozen, and then we're going to put it together. So I just took my cream out of the freezer, and these silicone mats are really nice. They just slide off. Like they're really nice to use. So I highly recommend that you get some, because they come in really handy and you just don't have to work so hard. So, very easy recipe for a great drink. And I've got my wine glass here. And I have my Zivia root beer, which I thoroughly enjoy this. Now, normally I just drink my rum. I love my Bacardi's white rum, and I also really like Rondaise, that's it, ones that you can get in the States. So whenever I go over and I'm over long enough, I usually pick some up. It's cheap, but it's really a good rum that I quite like. So I've got my Zivia, I've got my glass, I've got my liquid whipping cream, and I'm not going to use rum in here. I'm going to just pour a little root beer in to say it is the rum, because being away for the week, a week and a bit, I put on a couple of pounds because I did not behave myself, and I'm trying to behave myself now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take some of my cream. I was hoping that I made it the right size that it would fit in the glass. And then I'm going to, I got some stuff on my fingers here, take my root beer. And if you're not familiar with Zivia, there's no caramel coloring in it, which it's better not to have it anyway. So I'm going to fill up the glass. I got lots of foam here. So the next thing is I'm going to pretend that I'm putting in an ounce of rum, and I'm just going to use the root beer, and we're going to pretend that it is the rum, because I'm not using that, I'm not drinking right at the moment. So we'll say that's our rum, and then I'm going to take an ounce of liquid cream, and I'm going to pour that in. Now, if I had a pop that was colored, it would actually look quite good, but there's no caramel color in Zivia. So that is it. The ice cream, or the frozen cream, it is kind of like an ice cube. It keeps your drink really, really cold, which is really awesome. And I'd rather do that than have ice cubes in there, because then it dilutes your drink. So anyway, let's give it a taste and see how it turned out. So here is my low-carb rum root beer float. I don't have the rum in it right at the moment, but you can get the gist. It's delicious, and I love rum and Zivia pop together, even cream soda. Like I remember when I was a kid, we used to go for root beer floats all the time, and they were just so good. And you can see it's still frozen in there. Oh, very good. It's got that flavor of ice cream, and you got the root beer. And you can try other flavors of their pop, because it's quite delicious. So this is a really nice drink, and maybe I'll make it for Thanksgiving tomorrow, because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So I hope that you enjoy this and some of my other recipes. So if you'd like to go to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com, try this recipe or this drink, and try some of my other recipes. You take care. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Love you all, and thank you for watching. Bye now.